Hi, today is Wednesday, May 6th. I'm Brett, the editor of Speedboat Magazine. I thought I'd make a little video blog all about our July 2015 issue, the creation of which effectively starts today, because today is the day we approved and signed off on our June 2015 issue, featuring Win Farnsworth's Low Altitude Mystic on our cover. That puts July smack dab in the middle of our consecutive 6-issue summer series comprising May through September, giving our magazine a total of 8 print issues this year. Previously, we had only published 6 print issues per year. I'm planning for this video blog to feature highlights from the magazine's creation, from our earliest concepts and ideas to actually receiving copies in the mail. By that time, of course, we will be already well into the creation of our August issue. But I thought some readers might like to see how everything comes together, at least from the point of view of the editor, me. Now, I don't do everything, of course. Several key individuals work hard to make all of this happen. Besides me, there are 3 people who have the most amount of hands-on time assembling each issue, including Chris Davidson, the owner and CEO of Speedboat. The buck stops with Chris, and he's like the President of the United States, setting the tone and paying the bills while allowing his staff to do most of the dirty work. I'm assisted by Ray Lee, who is the de facto publisher. Like me, he's kind of a jack of all trades, doing everything from selling ads and taking photos to writing a regular column and attending big events like Desert Storm. He and I are in contact virtually every weekday and on some weekend days when things get really busy. And finally, there's our art director, Gail Inslee, who month after month creates beautiful layouts full of style, color, and dazzling designs. So right now, the contents of the July issue are largely theoretical. I start by making a list of articles that I think could go into the next issue. Some of them are must-runs, while others are less timely articles that I think can run anytime, or even vague ideas that I think can be fleshed out later. So let's take a look at my list for July. At the top of the list is a feature for the Brett's Cove section. That's where I put all of the V-drives and jet boats and flat bottoms and such. Danny Morell owns a boat that we shot back in 2014. He's been very patient as I've waited just about a year to put this in the magazine. I hope he's really happy with it once it finally goes in. Next up, I wrote Paul Kimmel. Paul is one of our photographers. I've worked with him going back to the hot boat days. He shoots a lot of racing, everything from hydroplanes to the big offshore boats. Occasionally we unearth photos from his vast archive and run them as a now and then sort of feature in a nostalgic vein. So that's what may happen there. I want to show some of my favorite swimsuit models that I've shot over the many years, and I thought that I could showcase Brett's models in some way. I do have a pretty big archive of bikini models, both that I have shot and that others have shot. I want to show some of my favorites of some of my photos. That's what that is. We tested a boat during Desert Storm of a Sensation, and we got photos of it, and Bob Teague did the testing for us, so I'm excited about showing that. Center console model. During Desert Storm, we shot a great Eliminator, and I think it's going to make a wonderful cover for us. Right now, as a matter of fact, Ray Lee is down meeting with the folks from the Southern California Offshore Powerboat Elite, or SCOPE, and we may be doing another feature on them. Recently, the Tickfaw poker run happened, and Jeff Girardi from Freeze Frame was there, and we will showcase highlights from that race in the July issue. The FPC is the Florida Powerboat Club, run by Stu Jones. They have a number of events happening over the summer. The very next one is the second annual Key West Air, Land, and Sea Poker Run, and I believe that's May 14th through 17th, so that will coincide nicely with our July issue. There are 2 sort of grassroots events happening this weekend. One of them in Laughlin, Nevada, and one of them in Parker, Arizona. And those will probably be shot by freelancers and showcased in the Brett's Cove section. And then finally, Mark McLaughlin, who shoots NJBA and Luke Gasoil Racing, will have his latest NJBA race. So these are some of the events and features that will be in July. So let's see which ones make it and which ones don't. I think that takes care of entry number 1. Hi, today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2015, and our July issue has started to take root. The original sketchy list I described in the last vlog has now morphed into what some people in the publishing industry refer to as a pagination. I've also heard it called an imposition. But this rendering is essentially a map of what the contents of our July issue will look like. We notate which ads and articles will go on which pages. This is a valuable document for everybody on our staff, and it's something that will undergo considerable changes as we proceed, and it'll change right up until the very end of the process. For the previous issue, June, we had new ads coming in right up until the very end of the cycle, and a couple of ads also dropped out as well. So I have to be flexible and be able to cut editorial or add editorial content as the advertisements change. And speaking of our June issue, it is currently at the printer, and I'm expecting copies any day now. But back to July. While we haven't built any layouts yet, a great deal of the photography is now in, and I can share some of that with you at this time. Of the main features, the first chronologically is the TICFA 200 Poker Run. This is an event that bills itself as Louisiana's largest powerboat poker run. This year's run was photographed by Jeff Girardi of Freeze Frame Video. Thumbnails of many hundreds of his images are now available at his website, and I requested between 30 and 40 digital versions yesterday, and he has since uploaded them this morning, so I'll be taking a look at those. In my last entry, I also mentioned that during Desert Storm, Bob Teague of Teague Custom Marine tested a center console powerboat built by Sensation Powerboats of Michigan. Our star photographer, Todd Taylor, recently sent me his photos of that boat taken during Desert Storm, and they're quite good, up to his usual excellent standards. Ray particularly liked this shot, which will probably wind up as our cover for July. The Florida Powerboat Club's Key West Poker Run is this weekend, and Club President Stu Jones has promised to get photos to me next week. His photos are always outstanding. I mentioned last time that our photographer Paul Kimmel was pitching me on the idea of using some of his archival photography, so I had the idea of building a story around one of the greatest offshore racers of all time, the late legendary Tom Gentry. He was a record holder and gold medal winner who passed away 17 years ago. Paul just sent me an excellent selection of photos, enough for an 8-page article, but unfortunately I just have about 4 pages for this. Ray Lee has also contributed photos from the latest Scope event. Here are some of the images that he has given me for that outing. Ray is an excellent photographer, by the way. Kenny Redneck Dunlop took pictures at a recent hot boat event. I think it was last weekend, but he has not shared the photos with me yet, but they should be here soon. Meanwhile, ace racing photographer Mark McLaughlin has sent me photos from the latest NJBA race, Spring Fling at Ming, and here are some of the exciting images from that event. So in the next couple of days I'll be making a lot of photo selections and sending those photos to our art director, Gail Inslee, so she can do the layouts. After she sends me the layouts, I'll do my usual bang-up job of writing copy to go along with all the pretty pictures. Hi, today is Thursday, May 21st, and so many things changed immediately after I recorded my last vlog that I really should have logged another entry right away. But the long and short of it is that numerous articles have been shelved to make room for more timely materials. My swimsuit model retrospective has been put on hold again, this time to make way for a 4th of July themed article that will feature boats that have been painted to look like the American flag. They'll be complemented by photos of our swimsuit model Brittany, who was photographed last year at Lotto wearing a patriotic-looking bikini. My restoration story about Nick Stoltz's Eliminator has also been put on hold again, this time to make room for a whitewater jet boat race photographed by Frank Minray of Idaho, who always takes great action photos like the ones you're looking at right now, as well as a superboat offshore race photographed by Pete Bowden, who has been sending us images over the last couple of days. Here are some of the ones that he's emailed me as recently as this morning. The Tom Gentry story, which is not timely, has been shelved so that we can feature the recent Ultra Regatta, which Todd Taylor shot and who sent us photos as recently as last night. And here are some of the excellent pictures which I'll need to send to Gail today so that she can create layout. Over the last several days, I've interviewed numerous people, including the folks at Ultra Boats, about their regatta. By now I have received 5 separate layouts from Gail, our art director. Here are the layouts for the Sensation review. Earlier this week I interviewed company president Joe Schaldenbrand and got some great information from him about the boat. Here are the Tikfa 200 layouts. I'll be using a modified version of a story written by our friend John Caporal, who attended the event. And here's that 4th of July story, which I've cleverly titled The Fourth Dimension. And here are the 2 West Coast racing articles photographed by Mark McLaughlin. He actually sent me photos of the Lucas Oil race only a few days ago, and the layouts are already done. At this point, all of the photography for this issue is in, and Gail will have all of it by today. By this time next week, I expect all or nearly all of the layouts to be done as well. Meanwhile, I'll be working hard writing all of the copy for this issue. Ads have yet to be placed, and usually that process can interfere or disrupt some of the editorial, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, as always. This past Monday, our June issue arrived in the mail. Here it is. Looks very nice. I'm very proud of it. We're in full swing with this issue, and it's really starting to take shape. Hi, today is Wednesday, May 27th, and by now, nearly our entire editorial package for the July issue has been laid out, with only a few pages missing, like industry news and new products, which I typically tend to do toward the end of the cycle. Here are some of the other layouts that Gail has given us. The Florida Powerboat Club's Air, Land, and Sea Poker Run, the Scope Patau event, the Ultra Regatta, Salmon River Jet Boat Races, the Cocoa Beach Offshore Race, Reader Rides, the Rockin' Racin' Craft, and the SoCal Jet Boat Gathering in Laughlin. This week I've been trying to write copy for a lot of these stories, as well as writing photo captions for some of the pictures, which is easily my least favorite part of my job. In at least 2 cases this month, I had a photographer send me photos from an event, not knowing who owns any of the boats or even what kind of boats they are. This puts the impetus on me to try to chase all of that information down, and sometimes that makes me feel more like a private detective than a magazine editor. It's also worth noting that by this date, May 27th, my colleagues have not yet furnished me with a list of which ads are going into this issue, undoubtedly because they are still trying to sell ads for this issue. So hopefully by next week, this time, I will have gotten a list from them on which ads are running so that we can finish up this issue. We are getting closer and closer to our ship date deadline, so if we have any hope of making newsstand sales with this issue, we've got about another week before we have to get all pages to the printer. All right, it is Wednesday, June 3rd, and yesterday our fearless leader Chris provided me with the ad bank. which is his and Ray's collection of ads that are going into this issue. As I mentioned before, sometimes this can get a little dicey because we've already created the editorial well and now we have to shoehorn the ads in. So with any luck, my guesstimate on which ads will be running and how much space they will be occupying is close to reality. Sometimes it goes smoothly and sometimes not so smoothly. In this case, we did have to cut a few pages of editorial to make room for ads. This was kind of an unusual month because there seemed to be more than the usual amount of miscommunications between the top brass on which ads were running. I think that in Ray's case, he had some ads that he was planning to run that for whatever reason Chris didn't know about. So after we had made adjustments for the advertising package, we come to find that it's really not exactly the way Chris broke it down. So Gail and I spent at least part of today trying to rectify the problems, and I believe for the most part everything is now copacetic. So if you could look at our pagination now, almost everything is now blue, which means it's a final, ready to go out the door. The only thing that isn't a final is the cover. I've provided Gail with my cover lines for this issue, and she'll fit them in. And the next thing that will happen is she'll send me a cover with the cover lines in place. Everything else is either done or waiting on Ray to proofread. If he has any corrections to make, he'll call me and I'll make them. Otherwise, it looks like we're well on the road to shipping this issue. I think Gail will probably start uploading pages as early as tomorrow or Friday. We do have a print order now, so that means that the printer is now anticipating upload of all pages, and before long it will go to press, and we should be seeing office copies in the next couple of weeks. Onward and upward. All right, it is now Friday, June 5th, and all pages are done and have been uploaded to the printer. And earlier today, Chris and Ray took a look at those pages online and gave me their approval. So the task is now upon me to go through the pages and eyeball everything, make sure that both the ads and the editorial look good, and then I will officially submit my approval to the printer, and then shortly thereafter we will go to press. This is what the pages look like online. When we give our approval, we're looking at something that looks kind of like this. Here's our cover. You know, just click on the next page and there it is. There's Eddie Marine's beautiful full-page ad, and you can click down and look at the page 3, and there's the Performance Boat Center. And here's our table of contents page. And here we have, this is Ray's column, and then we also have Chris's column. So really, I can now look through every page and make sure that everything looks as good as Brittany does. Everything looks very good now, and I'm about to approve all pages. I'll be back with one more blog entry when the magazines arrive at my front door, and I can show you what the final product looks like. Hi, it's Monday, June 15th, and this is the last entry of this vlog because today I came home and found a box of magazines at my door. Here it is, our July issue, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show you what it looks like. And here it is. Looks pretty good. What started as a list of articles is now a real 84-page magazine with beautiful ads and beautiful photos and some very interesting articles. Some Mark McLaughlin's Great Phoenix Drag Boat Racing. It's the gathering in Laughlin, Nevada. There's the Ultra Regatta. And we have our 4th of July tribute. All in all, I think everybody's pretty happy with the issue. It's our Tickfaw 200 poker run. I can't wait to go through here and read everything again. And we have already started work on our August issue, going through the same cycle I showed you with this one. So with that, I think wraps it up very nicely, and I'll be seeing you.